Let's talk about that. Let's talk about kids acting out sexually. And if you've been on TT for any period of time, you know that there are words we just can't use. And apparently hashtags that have to do with child abuse, that hashtag no longer can be used. So we can, exploit children, those lovely family bloggers and the like, but somebody advocating against abuse, well, no, that's not allowed. But anyway, I'm on a tangent, I know. But let's talk about this comment. And I know, because you made another comment on one of my other videos, that you are one of us, a survivor. I know that it wasn't coming from a place of malice or anything like that. So let's be very responsible, respectful, and kind in the comments, please. Children, in my opinion, and as a survivor myself, if you click on this comment, you can see the original video where I talk about my early childhood CSA from my grandfather, then a lifeguard by the time I was 9, SA by the time I was 12 by a stranger, and on and on and on. I have been a victim of multiple acts of sexual violence from the time I was a small child until I would say I was probably 19. Anyway, all this being said, and the reason I made the video was because of the fact that a lot of CSA survivors have that same experience because we're pre-groomed. And from the outside, maybe to some people, it could have looked like I was also acting out sexually because, the thing about when you're a child who's unloved and you find out that you can get affection from, in my case, the opposite sex, you start acting out in ways that you were taught. But it isn't with the knowledge of what happens next. And I can say this like I'm thinking about it as I'm saying it, and I'm recalling times where I would fall into a boy or flirt with somebody age inappropriate, and thank goodness I'm thinking of one particular person. He did not bite onto that. Like, he was actually a responsible person, but my mother was setting me up for another CSA, no question in my mind, because of the fact that who in their right mind leaves a young man, I would think he was probably high teens, early 20s, in charge of a 9-10-year-old girl to babysit, who had already been experiencing CSA that she knew about, that she also set me up for. Anyway, in this situation, I was very affectionate to him. I was trying to give him a massage and he wasn't letting me, on the shoulders. I wasn't looking for anything beyond affection. So yeah, on the surface, it looks like we're acting out sexually, but really what we're doing is acting out, trying to gain affection and warmth because we're not receiving it from the people who are supposed to be loving us the most and protecting us the most, for that matter. And unfortunately, this is where I talk about being pre-groomed. When those things occur with the wrong person, they then become another one of those victimizers. So I just wanted to talk about it in this context because I know that there are people out there, as I was the girl in the family who was known as being boy crazy. I was the girl in summer camp who had the bad reputation, the as word, but ends with a T, starts with an S. I was the girl in grade 7 being ripped to shreds because I went too far with a boy. In the meantime, I was freezing and fawning and also so worried he wouldn't like me if I didn't do certain things, kind of thing. And he was the one who, of course, then went into the locker room and the whole 9 yards. Meantime, he was like grade 9, grade 10. I think he got left back a year. Yeah, real bright kid. Anyway, not throwing shades on kids who get held back, but this kid was not a real bright kid. If he was, he wouldn't have to take advantage of a girl who just entered grade 7. That's what I'm saying. Anyway, I was that girl. And for a long time, even admitting that made me sick to my stomach. And I didn't understand why I had this horrible reputation, because I actually wasn't having full on, you know what, and I wasn't doing the stuff I was being accused of. What I was doing was kind of chasing boys and being very affectionate, and because I was starving for affection. So in my family, nobody was going to defend me or look beneath the surface, because they knew why it was happening. And I was boy crazy. And then behind closed doors with my mother, by the age of 9, she was telling me I was a tramp, and that everybody knew I was damaged goods, and that I was only good for one thing. And I kind of understood what the one thing was, but I kind of didn't, because I was 9.